brother.
Right,
Let's deal with the information, man. So,
said-
Dane Calloway, I want to ask you, Dane, you talked about the reverse of us, of Africans. I would like to hear more about that. You said that we didn't come over here on slave ships, but it was indeed the reverse of it. You know?
Okay.
Meaning
Well,
that
I mean, what was the question?
We was taken to Africa.
Sierra Leone, Liberia.
I don't know. I'm just asking you. What do you mean
Oh, yeah.
by that? The reverse of it.
American Colonization Society sent out about 13,000 people over to West Africa.
From here?
From here. Mm-hmm.
Were they native?
It is called American Colonization Society.
Right. Was they Indians? Was they what? Who were they?
I mean, it depends on what you want to call it. I mean, keep in mind, it was so-called black and so-called white people that were going over there. But it was only 13,000 of them. It wasn't a lot of them. And that's what they agreed. The majority of the people that went were priests and pastors.
Right. And so like when we like Cain that came out of South Carolina, he had Cherokee lineage. He was with the AME church. He went over through the you also had Curtis Austin, who went over as a Cherokee. He helped create the vowel syllabary language over there. So yeah, it was Indians who were going over there. They were recruiting in Indian areas, Arkansas, things of this nature. Yeah, the Mississippi, you had Choctaws go there from Mississippi. They built Mississippi in Liberia. So yeah, it was Indians that were going over.
So Dane, you don't agree? You don't agree with the transatlantic slave trade? Like transatlantic came over?
The transatlantic slave trade happened, but it didn't happen the way that we were told. That's why I told you it happened in reverse. I have a book out on this too. It's called It Was Told in Reverse. It's out right now.
I agree with Apostle.
So Dane Calloway, you believe?
Damn, Reggie, you just gonna talk over me?
Let me ask this question.
Go ahead, Reggie.
No, because you just put me in the background. I have another question.
Go ahead, Reggie.
So Dane Calloway, you do believe that 90%. You believe that 90%, 98% of African Americans are in fact Native Americans, and they are owed millions of dollars. You do. That is what you believe, right?
It's not about what I believe. It's about what I could actually prove.
Okay. All right. So now the 2% are Africans who came over on the slave trade with that analysis, right? So you believe that only 2% came over on the that you can prove. I'm just having a conversation.
You assuming you didn't know what the other 2% was about. You didn't know what the other 2% was about. But I'm talking about, yeah, that's what I'm about to tell you.
No,
I'm talking about our. One second, I'm talking about our people that were already here. We didn't come off of no slave ships. We were already here. I'm referring to those people, not the ones that mix with foreigners, whether if it be Central or South America or Africa and Europe. I'm not referring to none of those people. I'm talking about the indigenous people of this landmass. And by the way, that article was done in 2015, 2016. So I have put out more information than just that.
Okay, no. So now we do know from the Marshall Trilogy that Native Americans, right? Or that
I'm not referring to Native Americans. That's where you're making a mistake.
Because
you making a mistake right there. I'm not referring to Native Americans.
So you're not. No, I'm asking.
No, let me explain. Hold up a second. Let me explain. There's a difference between American Indians and Native Americans. Native Americans have nothing to do with being indigenous to this landmass. Have you ever heard of the political party called the Know Nothings? It's the third largest political party during the time period of the Federalists and the Whigs.
I can't talk to it right now.
It's the third largest political party during the time period of the Federalists and the Whigs. It was called the Native American Party. That's where that term came from. And that was nothing but people that were of Protestant religious belief. that wanted to go
continue.
against the Catholics at that time while trying to come over here. Keep in mind, the white people were leaving from enslavement. They were running from enslavement, aka transportation. You ever heard of the Bloody Code? The Bloody Code, UK. You ever heard of that? Oh, I mean, I'm not trying to go over your head with this information, but you got to understand what would happen with their people first in order to understand what happened with our people.
No, I am. Yeah. Okay, so I'm more interested in our people. So so what I'm trying to ask you is that what I'm trying to ask is, okay, so the Native Americans is different than the American Indians. The Native Americans, you say, was already here, right? And
Incorrect. That's not what I said.
Weren't
That's not what I said.
anything, right?
That is not what I said.
Okay, so what? Okay, so the Native Americans, the American Indians are our people. So you say, right?
We don't know who
That's
your people
yes.
is. You gotta do your
No?
genealogy.
no. Hold up. What you got to understand. What's this brother's name? What's your name?
Genealogy, but
What's your name?
my name is Brother Reggie.
Reggie. It sounds like to me you only, you're not listening to what I just told you. You're listening to what you want to hear. What I'm trying to explain to you
I'm asking
is that
you questions.
I'm about to, I understand, and I'm answering. Hold up a second. I'm answering.
What I want to hear.
Wait a minute.
I want to
Listen to me.
know.
Hold on, Reggie. One second. I'm explaining to you that there's a difference between the two. I also told you who the Native Americans are. You understand what I'm saying? But I already told you who the American Indians are with proof. And it's a few things that I mentioned that you're unfamiliar with. So if you don't like the way I answered your question, that's not my problem.
No, didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm listening. I'm just asking you some questions. So the group, there's a difference between the American
He tried to bypass
Indians
what
and
I
the
just
Native
said.
American. No, I just said what you said, right? There's a difference between the two groups, right? So what I'm asking you is, how do you separate the group that you said was already here?
And I already told you
the groups of Africans.
But when I told you, you didn't like my answer. You didn't like the answer that I gave you because you're unfamiliar with certain things that I told you.
No, I didn't.
You told me that you were not familiar with the know nothings.
I didn't like the answer.
One second. You told me that you were not familiar with the know nothings. So that means you have no idea of the Native American Party, which was the third largest political party during the time period of the Federalists and the Whigs. That's the time that I'm talking about. That moniker, Native American, was utilized. Prior to that, there were no Native Americans.
Okay,
American Indians have always been here. I didn't say that you said it, but apparently you're re-asking the same question, and I'm telling you what the answer is, and I'm telling you that you didn't like my answer because you're re-asking the same question. I gave you an answer.
No,